Hi folks, Mark from Hemingway's Tractor. Thanks for stopping by today. This last weekend was the 2nd and 3rd of April, and our temperatures were in the upper 80s, 87 to be exact. Today it's cooled off a little bit. We're mid-70s or so, a nice day. Tomorrow forecast to be 93, so we're pretty much in the thick of things as far as the spring and basically early summer almost growing season is going. Now I've got most of my garden in the ground already, but I have a few late arriving seeds that I need to get started, and I thought I'd show everybody what I do as far as the seed planting mixture that I use and how we put the planting pots together. So let's take a look at that, and hopefully I can give you a little bit of information to help you get your seeds started this spring as well. It's a bit windy out today, so I apologize if this gets into the way of the video as far as sound quality goes. You can buy some pre-made potting mix, I'm sorry, not potting mix, but seed mix, seed starting mix. Jiffy is one of the big brands. They're the same people that make the little pressed paper planting pots. By the way, I don't recommend those. They have a tendency, by the time your plant's really big enough to put in the ground, they're already starting to deteriorate and fall apart. But some people use them and enjoy them, and if you do, then that's great. What I like to do, I use your basic red solo cups. Simply drill a hole in the bottom of those so you have both drainage for water if you're top watering, and also so you can bottom water by sitting them in a shallow bit of liquid to soak up from the roots below. And what I use for a seed starting mix is simply organic potting soil. Now, if you use simply the potting soil by itself, you're going to have quite a bit of large parts in it that can get in the way of those little seed leaves popping up from the ground. So I sift it out before I use it, and simply I use a kitchen colander and take a big bag or a big cup and just put it in there, and you can see it's got some pretty good chunks, pieces of wood and things like that in it, perlite, and it's clumped together a lot. These things sit on the pallets at the home store or your garden center for quite a while with other bags on top of them, pressing them down and compressing all that soil. So I take this and I just move it around in the colander a little bit. And I'm not going to get everything out of this. I'm just going to get a good chunk of it out. And you know, I'll take some of it and throw it in another bucket and then go back in and get some more of that finer material out of it. And what I'll do is I'll take the residue and dump it in my bucket, and what I have is a bucket of potting soil. It's still potting soil. It just has a little bit of the finer material taken out of it for me to start my seeds with, but that's still perfectly usable. You can use it as potting soil, you can put it in your compost pile, you can just put it on the top of your garden, whatever you want. It's still good quality soil. In my case, this is an organic blend, so it's good stuff. Now what you're left with is this really fine material. It still has some of the perlite in it, and it still has all the nutrients and everything that that bag of potting soil had when it started. But the thing is now, your little seeds, when those seed leaves pop out of the seed themselves, aren't going to be fighting against sticks or other bigger chunks of material to get up through the surface of your planting bed. Now here are a couple of examples of ones that I've already potted, and they've actually sprouted, so they're a little bit ahead of the game. These are some bell pepper plants, mini bell peppers actually, and these are tomatoes. Now you see that the soil in each of these cups is at a different level. With the tomatoes, let's see if you can see all those little fine hairs along the stalk of the tomatoes. If you bury those, all of those will turn into roots. So once these tomato plants get a little bit larger and start forming their true leaves, not just their seed leaves, As they grow up, I will put some more soil in there so the stalk is buried. And what I want to get to is about the time they're ready to plant in 6 to 8 weeks. I want the plant up here and everything up to about the edge of the cup to be under the soil, so that's all making roots. So you have a nice strong root system to get the thing started in the garden. Now the peppers aren't like that. You don't want to bury the stalk any deeper than where it comes out of the soil or right at it. So I went ahead and filled most of this cup up just with regular potting soil, and then put a fine layer of the seed starting mix on top of that, put the seed in, and then put another small layer of the seed starting mix on top of that. So the majority of this cup is regular potting soil, so that takes up the volume of it, and then just using the fine material for the actual seed starting itself. Now when you do your soil, you want to make sure you pre-moisten it. If you just put this nice fine soil into your pot and it's sitting there and you stick your seed in it, as soon as you put water on it, it's going to go poof. And there's a good chance that your seed's going to get dislodged and either wind up on top of the material or buried deeper than you really want to. So pre-moisten the soil, then put your seed in and just cover it up enough that it's got a good firm contact with the soil all the way around. Well, that's it for today, folks. Here at Hemingway's Tractor, we like to keep it short, concise, and to the point, and hopefully this was exactly that. If you found something useful here, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and we certainly look forward to seeing you again here at Hemingway's Tractor.